Hello, hello everybody, welcome back. We are here with the Shanhai. This is not the Nano core for the new event. This is just the skin. I feel like I prefer this one over the Star Melody Nano core. Just because it's a lot less, interesting in certain regards. It's pretty cute, I like it. It's actually very colorful as well. Very well animated on top of all that. So yeah, once again, the art department for Echoes is just spot on. They do a really good job about everything. Not really sure why these lights are floating, but it's cool. It looks good. The cat itself does have animations and things. Today I just kind of want to roam high sec, do some Inquisitors, whenever we come across. Not really, didn't really have much of a plan today anyway, but that's what I wanted to do. So this could be a while before we find our first Inquisitor. So hang in there, we'll just chat as we go. Hopefully have a good time. Oh, there goes the, animation here. So when you undock, you'll stretch and
Undocking.
sit down. It really does look like a nice core here in space. There's a couple of kind of weird details that the cat Isk has. This cat is named Isk, I-S-K, as in the monetary system in the game. Um, he, is definitely energetic for a little kitten. Always chasing after the money. Upset when he doesn't get it. Kind of fun, kind of cute. Here are some of the emojis that I have picked up. Yeah, I'm not gonna dock. I'm actually just getting ready to head out and run some, Inquisitors, if we can find some. Jinno's gonna be joining us, I guess, for a moment with the Lucent Moon. Here, I wonder if we should go to one of these planets and get a real good image. Hey, Ism, good to see you. I do really like the colors on this compared to the Star Melody. There's a lot more going on. I appreciate that. The one thing that I'm kinda sad about this particular nanocore is you can see the ISK symbol here is blocked off by the turret, the missile. I wonder if we can attack him while he's in high sec. Since he's labeled as a red pirate, I wonder if you could kill him in high sec. That feels like such a bait. Because right now he's labeled as a pirate. which means you normally... Jesus Christ. I just see this wall of purple and blue come out. Oh my god. Jenner, please. That's actually kind of a good... I need a good angle on this. Yeah, that's good looking. I like the colors on that. Yeah, you're no longer a Chinese restaurant. Now you're just a massive wall of purple and blue. Yeah, I like the metallic coloration to it. That's really nice. Very nice. Well, at least now you got to see what the Lucent Moon and the Shanhai can look like. Oh, and he's gone. Yeah, I wonder if that guy can be killed. That's so weird. Alright, I'm gonna set to oh no. And we'll just clear things as we go. Current value for insurance is 251. And it's really closer to like 170 something. Right now I am just running Federation Navy Furbolgs. The EM like I had previously, the two burst aerators. I do have the integrated auto salvager on here. So that's good. Actually, I do need to dock again. Give me a minute, Jenner.
Docking request accepted.
Yeah, I saw you had a, cyan pop. How was that? I gotta swap over from the mining to the aerospace.
Undocking.
Alright. Yeah, my insurance value is 79,000 for minimum compensation. My Shanhai, not my cyan. I have the integrated salvager on here, which is probably why it's costing so much. After that, I don't really have anything that's, like, insane. Decentralized Command, the Light Fighter Siege 4. This isn't even, like, a capital DCU, it's just a basic. It needs to be a capital one. Yeah, I don't really know. But it's there. It's doing stuff.
Autopilot engaged.
Yeah. It's actually closer to like 170 or something like that. Alright, Jenner, do you want to help me find some Inquisitors? Or are you going about your day?
Warp drive active.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for showing off your Lucent Moon. It's good to see how the effects are different on each of the ships. Yeah, it looks kind of similar to a super, um, like we had a look at the Aeon
Warp drive active.
yesterday. Yeah, we're getting better on those skills. Astral Cat. I think it looks the best on the Wyvern. Where he's actually like sitting behind the hump. I think that looks the best. Oh wow. You're gonna be at 45 pretty soon, huh? That's
Warp
impressive.
drive active.
Tactical Defense
Warp
45.
drive active.
That is such a good implant to have. Yeah, don't need to go into Ono.
Autopilot disabled.
We're gonna set this to security level. We're gonna head out this way, I think. This is gonna take us through a couple of .5 systems, but that's not bad. Alright, let's go ahead and do that.
Autopilot engaged.
So I've set up a new plan with only the gates and the anomalies. Although I should probably add that. I don't really need any of that. Think of this as going for like a Sunday drive. We're just here to kind of have a little bit of fun, see what's going on in town, or in this case, around the universe. And if we see something we like, we're gonna go do it.
Warp drive active.
Since there's not a high-tech event going on right now, it should mean that a lot of Inquisitors are just kind of sitting there, waiting around. Yeah, how was the inheritance thing? Did it work as
Warp
expected?
drive active.
Or were there a few more steps involved? Why is... Yeah, yeah. Um, I figured you'd probably have to re-roll whatever stats you got along with the main stat. And you had to go and do a Tesseract upgrade as well, huh?
Warp drive active.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of expected, I guess. Not too bad, though. Oh, yeah. It's definitely convenience,
Warp
not
drive
not
active.
a saving. I think it's really just for those people who invested a lot into, like, a really bad nanocore. I wouldn't call any nanocore really bad, but comparatively speaking, when you're talking about, like, tiers of good versus not so good, you've got, like, Ascension nanocore being, like, the very bottom. So if you had that, like, full upgraded, but you wanted to get into your, Star Melody nanocore, which would be, like, S tier, um, it would help you out. You're probably just better off going with the inheritance chip and all that.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, the Astral Cat nanocore should be nice to help deal with, like, Bombard or maybe just, like, the initial attack of a bomber fleet. It might even deal with the damage tick of the bombs themselves. Yeah, it's more of an alpha damage counter. But it's also useful to try to get away, because it does reduce your warp stability by 5. So if you're only being held down by a few points, it could get you out of dodge.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Yeah, that's one of the best things about high sec is being able to just not think about what's going on, just have some fun. Um, yes, you're not gonna make nearly as much as you could out in null sec, but that's why I tell everybody, if you want to make money, go out to nullsec, find somewhere that's fairly safe. Um, but if you die, it's pretty much resetting all of your progress. Whereas in high sec, you can just pluck
Warp
away
drive
at it
active.
for a long period of time and not have to think, not have to worry about anything. Just go around, have fun. The risk of nullsec and lowsec is quite significant. Still no inquisitors. I really thought we had a chance here with 11 anomalies.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, the next, it'll show you. Um, if you pull up the co-star deal, you can hit tomorrow's group deal, and it'll show you the next stuff that you can get. Oh, the day after that? Okay. What are you buying in an hour and 5 minutes? Which one? Integrated module box. That's actually a really good one.
Warp drive active.
Integrated fighters. That's actually quite good as well. Ooh, boy, that's expensive. What is that? Like, 3,000 Aurum for the fighters?
Warp drive active.
How many do we get here? 100. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty fair. Um, I think I'm probably gonna hold off on anything else until the next Interstellar Bazaar. Unless something comes out and I'm like, I have to have it.
Warp drive active.
Something like that would be like a high-sec dreadnought or marauders are pretty much the only thing that would make me go, I have to have it. I don't have it, but I wonder if I can pull up the one that Jinner posted. Where is it? Image. Okay.
Warp drive active.
So there it is. That's the activatable mode for the cat nanocore. It's kind of like a damage control or kind of similar to the sleeper, except for it absorbs damage um rather than just increasing resistances. It just straight up absorbs the damage.
Warp drive active.
It is only 30 seconds active, you said, Jitter, and then 300-second downtime. So it's really good to try to get away from somebody, or to try to keep yourself alive on the initial engagement and absorb as much damage as possible. Yeah, 300 seconds is a long time to wait to use it again. It really is just like either the initial engagement or trying to run away, where it's actually useful.
Warp drive active.
You could try to use it to, like, absorb bombard damage, but bombard comes up every, like, 60 seconds or something like that. So, it's not gonna take care of all of them, just a few. And I feel like Shanhai should probably have one more fighter slot.
Warp drive active.
But that might have made it too overpowered, so I don't know. It just feels weird having only 3 fighter slots when I'm so used to the Aeon now. Having to juggle like 4 or 5. I'm looking for Inquisitors that I can run. So I'm just kind of
Warp drive
flying around
active.
high sec, hoping to come across one. I'd like to have a few. Alright, let's see this fit.
Warp drive active.
My god, it's already at half a trillion. Lots of A-types. Nice 4P80. Yeah, lots of good stuff. So are you gonna go with the Starbreak, or are you gonna go with the, Astral Cat? I would say Starbreak's probably better. Just for the raw healing it provides.
Warp drive active.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It can't do tactical. You are correct. So yeah, you have no choice. So Midgard will be Star Melody, not Astral Cat. Oh, got one thing I'm looking for. Very nice. Hey, Dark. How you doing today? I have not done any of the faction stuff yet.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, there is a lot of random PvP going on because of it. So I'm gonna let that cool down a little bit before I throw the alphas at it. Ah. Yeah, the greases probably are not the best for haulers, but their combat missions should be pretty good.
Warp drive active.
We're under attack.
Alright. We do have an NCO.
We're being warp scrambled.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it does matter, which faction you get for the, exclusive rewards for that faction, but that's about it. Everything else, just find which one is closest. Hot DPS should be about 22,000. Yeah, 22,771. Without the decentralized, it's 2,729. 20,000. Yeah, if you're looking to break a higher DPS, go with aerospace. And I actually need to set that one active. Because that's 10% drone DPS there. And then this just has a passive DPS increase of 18 to 24%. Right now I'm at level 30 with 18% increase. So I actually should be about 10% higher DPS than what you're seeing right now. Ooh, Neon Rain, nice. I would consider going with the Thermomagnetic Storm Core or the Star Melody if you happen to have one. Both of those are going to be much better for DPS.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
Yeah, it's really easy to get the Thermomagnetic Storm Core though. You just gotta do Concord Pass for 2 months. Actually, I don't think Rattlesnake can go with Thermomagnetic. That's right. It's only the Star Melody now that's actually good for the Rattle. I'm sure somebody has checked them. Um, but I'm sure it's pretty, like, close-lipped right now. Yeah, that's good. Wow, interesting. I did not know that it would do that. We should be coming up on wave 3, and I'll just nuke that wave. Interceptors are Omega only, unfortunately.
Enemy ships detected.
Alright, let's go ahead and nuke this entire field.
We're under attack.
I'm glad they finally gave hauling some kind of help. We've been waiting a long time for good hauling missions and things. It's still not perfect, but it'll do for now. So long as that faction stuff comes back regularly and stays active regularly, I don't think we'll have a problem. Yeah, I do think they should change it to like maybe 10 minutes. Um, yeah, the faction warfare laboratory missions, there's only one for each faction, I think, and they are so spread apart, it's insane. You can have one that's like 7 jumps away from you, and then you'll have another like 32 jumps away. It's actually really irritating. Hey, Num Num, how you doing today? Good to see you. Ooh, good stuff today. What did I get? Hell yes. That's good. Got one of these. Made 500 million just right there. Nice. Alright, let's keep heading
Autopilot engaged.
whatever direction we need to go.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we could get a lot of these, Inquisitors today. Or at least a few. It would be really nice. The laboratory missions are pretty easy. They're very similar to the ones we already have, except for they have, I think, 6 waves. Yeah. And this is just the skin, it's not the actual nanocore. Right now I'm running the Star Melody nanocore. But the skin is the Astral Cat. I figured that was nicer to look at than, a certain anime girl.
Destination reached.
Alright, let's find our next location we're heading toward. I'm gonna try to jump our way. I think we're gonna try to get ourselves over to Kukuri.
Autopilot engaged.
So tell me, what are you guys up to? I know Gokunai's doing the faction missions. How about you, Num Num? What are you up to? Yeah, the amount of merits you get for the mission denotes the difficulty. Honestly, the rattlesnake isn't that expensive. Um, but I get not wanting the loss. Nice. 555 and large drone operation. Are you flying a rattlesnake
Warp
or
drive
cobra?
active.
Are you flying a Dominic's Navy? Ah, you're going towards the Dominic's Navy. Nice. Good stuff. I really like the Dominic's Navy. It's very flexible. It is definitely the best um, high-sec battleship that you can fly. Hell, it's kind of the best battleship you can fly anyway, other than the Marshall. I think those two are pretty well tied with each other. Hey, sometimes drones are not the thing that you're into, and having multiple ships on your side is what you like. Wow. Man, you had a hard job right there, I tell you. That's a lot of dedication to build a super capital. I definitely respect it.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
The outposts are still there. Although I think they are trying to phase them out with the new systems.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. You've got a good track record there. Nice. 555 for the Typhoon Spec Ops. Perfect choice. It is so important that players actually go and log in every day just to get the
Warp drive active.
basic implant op box. It is so important. I know on my alts I'm gonna have to do this, so I can get them the aerospace on all three of them. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you gotta do all the PvP and stuff, and have fun that way up until you just don't have time anymore, and then you become a Care Bear like us. It's okay. I've spent 90% of my time as a high-sec Care Bear. Especially in EVE Online, where
Warp drive active.
I do a lot of Abyss on EVE Online. And then when I started EVE Online, I did a lot of like wormhole scanning. So now I'm just enjoying the high-sec safety. Even the Rorqual isn't what it used to be. Yeah. There's been a lot of nerfs across the board to a lot of different ships in EVE Online. I don't think it was necessary, but they obviously have a goal. You can mine, it's just not as good as it used to be.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, the Wayseeker event, I hope that comes back soon. That was a lot of fun. Either form of it. I would like either one. Yeah, that's true. You could not get a Rorqual in high-sec. Until a few years ago, at least. Feels like 5-10 years ago, maybe?
Warp drive active.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I got another Shanhai after I sold my last one, is because I really need a high-sec event ship. Wow. It's also nice to have to run these, Inquisitors and laboratory missions.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, I'm just roaming for Inquisitors. I've done one so far, and this is my result. I've already made like 500 million. Oh, got another Inquisitor. There's no one else in the system. Yep. 427, but if I go into the market for this thing,
Warp drive active.
it's pretty much about 500 million. Yeah, this is probably one of the better times to be in Eve Echoes. I think they're doing a lot of stuff to try to help new players. It's so good. I think we're in a much better state than we were 2 to 4 years ago. The game was looking a little dire about 2 years ago, but now it's alright.
Warp drive active.
We're being warp scrambled. We're being warp scrambled. We're being warp scrambled.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you either. There was a whole big war that happened, so I'm not too informed on what's going on now. It is a little bit amazing to me that people don't run Inquisitors that much anymore. Mainly because the old Inquisitor and Scout anomalies were so bad that it just kinda never took off again. Now it seems they're okay.
Enemy ships detected.
Yeah, you can steal a lot of stuff right now because people are running missions as hard as they can. Yeah, I've never actually seen an advanced Inquisitor in high sec, just the regular. I would like to find one, if we come across one today.
We're being warp scrambled.
Seems like the music might be a little too loud. I don't know. Yeah, heavy water is definitely the popular choice. It's easy to mine, easy to get, quick to fill up the cans, and you can use it in everything. It's my favorite form of fuel, especially since it can be found pretty much anywhere. Condensed alloy is a really good PI. A lot of ships use it, especially materials. So it gets pretty expensive. Okay.
Enemy ships detected.
This is
We're
wave
under
2, I
attack.
believe. Actually, this might be wave 3. I think this is wave 3. Oh no. What are you... Why are you moving a bunch of capital ship parts around in low sec? What are you planning? Yeah, Jino's in-game name is the same. Alright. Nice and easy. Okay, let's see what we ended up with from that. Alright, not much. We got Republic Fleet Shield Booster. We got a Federation Magnetic Field Stabilizer. Serpentis Debris. Oh, these are good though. I like having the personal effects.
Autopilot engaged.
This is the best drop though that we've had so far.
Warp drive active.
Oof. That sounds like a long grind. Ooh. Yeah, that's over double. It's like... kind of crazy. Meanwhile, I'm here just, slowly working my way toward the next rank, which would be Lieutenant. That is a long way to go, I
Warp
tell you
drive
what.
active.
If I can at least get to Major, I'd be pretty okay. Or at least Captain, I'd be pretty happy. Yeah, did you put a time limit on that?
Destination reached.
Alright. Let's pick another location to go toward.
Autopilot engaged.
Yeah, I think the only way you're gonna get the ranks is by doing the PvE stuff. Or going to the dedicated PvP locations. Goodness, that's a long time. Yeah, I need to at least get, like, 5 ranks. So that way I don't have to worry about, like, not having the skills active. Bunch of reds are camping the gate. Oh no.
Warp drive active.
I don't know where Jinner is at. Are you playing with a hornet's nest? That's how you end up getting stung.
Warp drive active.
Alright, not much there. Actually, this is a really
Warp drive
nice angle.
active.
That tiger striping looked really nice. Small, mediums, larges. Hey, keep going. Hey, there's no Dixie. sometimes I end up in a Indo-Dixie when I'm running AI. I'm like, why am I even here?
Warp drive active.
Yeah, I usually do run AI in the high-tech islands, but once in a while I'll just let it go wherever I want it to. See what happens. I don't run AI all that often, it's maybe once every few months. Mostly because I get a lot better bounty ticks and things when I am manually flying. I haven't even seen what kind of bounty ticks we're getting out of these. Oh, that's actually not bad.
Warp drive active.
I thought that would be a lot worse. And there's our next bounty tick. That's kind of like running a laboratory mission. The 4 millionist lab. That's not terrible. Ah yes, we're gonna jump into cat. We're gonna take the cat to cat. I did not even know
Warp
there was a
drive
system
active.
named cat. But here we go. So in an hour and a half we have found 2 Inquisitors.
Warp drive active.
And that could be a lot faster if I was running like a scout ship and just blasting through a bunch of different systems. Maybe we'd have found 3 or 4 instead. Yeah, I don't really see the point in having an assault carrier when you have the Lucent Moon. Your Lucent Moon is already a way better setup. For a fraction of the cost.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, if you're like fully integrated on that Lucent, you might be able to do 410 solo. Okay,
Destination reached.
let's see, we ended up here. Maybe this time I want to end up here. Yep, that's right.
Warning, capacitor running low. Warning, capacitor running low.
There are no stations in this system? Interesting.
Warp drive active. Autopilot disabled.
We're already in Endhole. Let's head toward Esteem.
Autopilot engaged.
Is tomorrow's group deal bad? Or the day after, I guess? That's actually really good.
Warp drive active.
That... That's not a normal disruptive lance box, Jitter. This is the, really good one. Yeah, I mean, you do. That one's not very good, and that's not very good. But if you got that, you could sell it.
Warp drive active.
Jeez, that's so much. It's only 200 IP. I think the only thing I would want here is the Assault Carrier 3. And then I could sell that and get a bunch of ISK. Or trade it for something in the future.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, that would pay off quite a few of my needs for the super.
Warp drive active.
I mean, really, the most expensive thing is here. Everything else isn't worth a whole lot. Yeah, about 35 million if you don't include the rare drop.
Warp drive active.
The bounty tick's not bad. Like I said, it's about the same as a lab.
Warp drive active.
Small, large, medium. Nothing of value.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Still nothing. We're gonna keep going. Ooh. That'll be good. You'll get there soon enough. Yeah, I'm thinking if I end up getting 10 more
Warp drive active.
of these tickets, I might as well just pick up the Assault Carrier Hangar mod and sell it. That way it can fund my integrations for the Aeon. If I had that, it would be pretty much an instant win for that. Oh, it's Apprentice Inquisitor here. Okay, we found a third one to run. Yeah, it's gone down quite a bit because it's on the market. I'm thinking it would be cheaper for me to get those 10 tickets if I just grind out
Warp drive active.
the event, right? Because we get 5 tickets. We only get 5 tickets. Okay. so I would need to find 5 more tickets somehow. Yeah, so we
Warp
had
drive active.
5 tickets and then nothing else. What? Oh, this is the
We're
level 2
under
Inquisitor.
attack.
Well, I'm just gonna nuke him anyway.
Enemy ships detected.
Might as well, you
We're
know?
under attack.
See what kind of stupid stuff we get out of this.
Warp drive active.
I know we won't get much out of this, it's just kind of fun.
Warp drive active.
So that one just brought me right back to the beginning. Okay.
Autopilot engaged. Warp drive active.
Just keep moving on here.
Warp drive active.
Nope. Okay, so the next one we're gonna go for is gonna be across the galaxy here.
Warp drive active. Destination reached.
Alright. No success on that trip. Let's head toward Amsterdam.
Autopilot engaged.
Warp me here in just a moment. This should take me through systems that we haven't been through before, so we'll see how this ends up.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
hopefully soon all of this faction warfare stuff will slow down a little bit and we'll be able to get out there with our alts and see what we get out of it. See how well we can do and if we can complete the content and all that. Okay, that's a level 2 Inquisitor. We do not need that. What we're looking for is the one with
Warp drive active.
And right now we're in Rain, which is one of those systems with a ITC in it, Femtech.
Warp drive active.
We have gone through a lot of places.
Warp drive active.
I'd be pretty happy if we found one more level 10 Inquisitor before we ended today. That would be good.
Warp drive active.
It's been about a half an hour since we've seen our last major level 10 Inquisitor.
Warp drive active. Warp drive
I
active.
wonder what the closest thing is to that. Interdiction, scramblers. So I got the Shadow Serpentis. Those are about 600 million. Those are about 400 million, 500 million. Predator Warp Frame is 2.9. Okay. So yeah, I can probably put it up for about 500 and expect to sell it if somebody's looking for one.
Warp drive active.
Okay, now we're in Angel Space again. Let's see if we get anything out here.
Warp drive active.
Right now we've only actually gotten 2 level 10 Inquisitors. The bounty tick is about 25 million. Yeah, 25,704. And we got 1 rare drop, which was worth 400 million between 2 of them. $500 million, whatever you want to call it. That one. If I don't include that, I mean, it's really bad if I don't include that. It's, like an additional 17 million from the loot.
Warp drive active.
The merits. We started today. I started today at like 170, 1070, and we've done 2. So, what is that? 40 per, pretty much? 30? Maybe 35 merits per anomaly from the elites.
Warp drive active.
I definitely should have some money trying to find these for me, though. It's probably a really bad idea for me to be running around with the Shanhai trying to find these on my own. Because it's so slow. But yeah, we've been going about 2 hours and we've only
Warp
found
drive
2 level
active.
10 Inquisitors. Yeah, definitely a much higher risk if you're in low sec. Like, it's fine. I could very easily replace this thing, but then that would mean that I could not replace the Aeon. And I do not want to be in that risk.
Warp
I
drive
have to
active.
I have to be able to replace the Aeon if it ever died. Yep, I do. I do have battleship skills still. I'm keeping the battleship skills because there's times where, like, no laboratory missions are spawning, or there's no, like, Inquisitors. Um, and I also know eventually one day we're gonna see something like the Golem or any of the Marauders. So, one day
Warp
I'll
drive
have
active.
that. Yeah, thank you for the offer, but I don't need it. It is not necessary for what I do. I've got the Shanhai, so I'm gonna use the Shanhai. I know the Marshal gets a much higher bonus, though. Mm.
Warp drive active.
There's not a single Inquisitor around here. I'd like to get one more.
Warp drive active.
It's possible we could see an update for the rest of the faction ships. So maybe we'd see something like the Python, which is the upgraded version of the Marshal. We might see, like, a new version of the Nightmare. There's also the Nestor needs an upgraded version along with the, there was one more that needed it. Yeah, I mean, if you want actual faction warfare, just go to your map and go to any of these systems. Right now,
Warp drive active.
plenty of people are gonna be there. Yeah, I think they're doing away with the actual faction war games. I don't think it was popular enough for people to play it all the time when it was active. It was also active at weird times for certain locations, which kind of screwed them over. Yeah, the Dreading Carrier one was fun. I played quite a bit of that when that came out. That's where I discovered that I really like um carriers now. At first they were really weak in that faction war games. Um and I don't think anything there was properly
Warp
balanced. It was
drive
just
active.
seeing if it would work and how people would react to it. Um but carriers are just a lot of fun. I do prefer a dreadnought over a carrier. Just because there's a lot less to take care of. I don't have to worry about NPCs or players killing my fighters. Yeah, I feel that.
Destination reached. Autopilot engaged.
Yeah, we spent... Yeah, dreads are a lot more ISK efficient. You can make them tanky for a lot less. And you can fit them a lot more easily as well. Um, it took my friend and I think like 3 months to get the materials build a to get the materials to build a succubus for my friend, which really sucked. And then later on last year, we spent we spent about a year on and off building a Nidhogger between the two of us. So that was a good learning experience, but I don't want to do that again. Yeah, the only thing I build now is compilers. That's it. Compilers, maybe chips, um, integrated salvagers, things like that.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, building a jump freighter is insane. Yeah, EVE Online had so many pieces that had to go together, and you needed so many stations to build them all, and a bunch of alts, and it's just insane. That's why I like EVE Echoes a little bit more for it. Yeah, the prices are a little hard to deal with, the material cost is insane, but this is way easier. Oh, that sucks. That really sucks that they didn't do that.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, Nyx are still very cheap.
Warp drive active.
No, it doesn't have to be unhappy. You just gotta play the game and enjoy whatever it is you enjoy. I think a lot of people are caught up in everything always has to be good. Um, and it doesn't have to be that way. But as long as you're doing what you enjoy, you'll have no problem even in the hard times.
Warp drive active.
Oh no. Honestly, I could care less about BPOs and BPCs. I would rather have the Eve Echoes version, where everything is pretty much a BPC. Yeah, BPOs were very good for research efficiency, but that's all baked into your skills here. There's no point in having it unless they want to make, like, industry much better. They could add BPOs and research on those.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, the skills for BPOs and stuff and research in EVE Online, they helped, but they were very specific. They weren't, it took a lot more to do. Man, we are just not finding any Inquisitors. We've only gone 6 jumps, though. Yeah, my luck is pretty average.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, you outsourced it to Kubi. That's funny. I used to live in Painter. Spent a lot of time in Painter at the beginning of the game.
Warp drive active.
I think I lived there for a year and a half. No, I've never done level 5 missions in EVE Online. I've done level 3 and level 4, but never level 5. Yeah, those all got nerfed. They made the income on those a lot worse.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, I just run high-sec missions, mostly in EVE Online, so level 3s and level 4s are everything that I need. On top of, Abyss. Yeah, I do hope that one day we will get the Golem and the Tengu for Eve Echoes. That would be super cool to
Warp
have.
drive active.
The Golem is my, dream battleship for Eve Echoes. I want to turn that into a 1 trillion-isk battleship. X-type equipment. Level 4 rigs integrated all the way.
Warp drive
Missiles
active.
aren't bad. They just have application issues if you're going with large missiles. Oh, by far, drones are better than every weapon system right now. Like, it's not even comparable. Drones have to be in their own category. They can't stay with the same. Yeah, EVE Online had some wild torpedoes and things over the years. They've done a lot of changes to missiles as well over the years. It seems to be a hard one for them to balance correctly. Yeah. It's not to make you buy the new stuff, as much as players like to say that. It is for the health of the game. You can't have something overpowered in the game all the fucking time.
Warp drive active.
And they need to also be able to change up how things work to make the game feel a little bit different every once in a while. Yeah, sometimes that comes with nerfs or buffs, but it doesn't need to stay the same the whole time. Hey, I got 1 ticket. Okay, I need to figure out how to get 4 more.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, Eve Echoes is kind of unique because they don't necessarily nerf anything unless it's absolutely overpowered. And I would argue that has happened a few times. Um, but they're also constantly increasing the bar of player firepower every year. Um, just like 2 years ago, we
Warp
had our
drive
very
active.
first high sec carrier, and that was the Cyan C. A lot of players left because they thought it was just overpowered as hell and not good for the game, whatever. But it ended up being okay and actually very positive in many regards. It allowed high sec players to get into a carrier which was not available to them beforehand. It increased the income for the company itself, which gave us the capability to have more content, more game, more ships. And then, like, a year after that, we got Lucent Moon, which gave high-sec players access to lightweight ships, which previously was not available to them. Lightweight ships are a step above fighters. And now we've got Shanhai, which came out like a month ago.
Warp drive active.
And it's just like an upgraded version of the Cyan, but not quite as powerful as the Lucent Moon. All of these ships are constantly dying in low-sec and null-sec, which in turn ends up lining the pockets of the company and giving us more content. So, whether you like it or not, it's gonna happen. So, my view on it is to accept it for now, see where it goes, and if something is just so bad that players cannot stand it, then we should do what the players have to in order to have the company change what they've done and make the game better. These ships are nowhere near what I would consider pay to win.
Warp drive active.
But they are kind of pay to play. In order to get your hands on it, you're either going to grind for 1,000 hours a year just to make the ISK, or you're going to pay with your wallet for $230. I think that's the number we're pretty average on right now. Not a single Inquisitor. But it is nice that Eve Echoes is not staying within the EVE Online rules and regulations, because this gives them a lot more freedom to do what they want with the game. And still keep
Warp
that
drive
sort of
active.
EVE feeling. I think in if EVE Online is still going strong in about 5 years, they're gonna look a lot like EVE Echoes. I think NetEase has had a interesting effect on the EVE Online developers and whoever currently owns them. The more they go into this whole skinner system and customizability of ships,
Warp drive active.
the closer they get to actually having something like a Nano core or any of the stuff that we have. Integrated rigs. It's not long before EVE Online sees some of the stuff that EVE Echoes has and brings it into their game. Maybe differently, maybe under different balancing. Um, yeah. I mean, let's face it, the earnings of EVE Echoes
Warp drive active.
is way down. It's consistent, but it's nowhere near their top contenders. I mean, we're talking trying to get the EU and a markets to pay for things like Asia and Russia do. It's impossible. They've been trying it for years and it's just not been going well for them. And it's very possible that Eve Echoes wasn't mentioned because CCP is actually selling the EVE Online
Warp drive
development
active.
stuff. And so there may be questions about what happens with EVE Online and EVE Echoes and how that affects both games. It's very possible we could see NetEase buy EVE Online. But I don't know if NetEase wants to take on that problem. Because as I understand it, EVE Online has been operating on a loss for the past, 10 years. I can only imagine what that looks like for EVE Echoes development.
Warp drive active.
Oh, that's good. But is it still a loss? That would be good if they've, made enough of a difference to start making money. Yeah, net loss, yeah. But hopefully that growth continues. The goal of every company is to make enough money to survive. And to make enough money to keep going.
Warp
And
drive
make enough
active.
money to grow. EVE Online has grown, but its player base has gotten lower. Same with EVE Echoes. EVE Echoes has grown tremendously, but we're pretty much a tax write-off for NetEase. Yeah, EVE Online is pretty old. I mean, we're looking at, I don't know, what is it, almost 20 years they've been around? 15 years? 20 years? Somewhere in there? I know they recently had their, yeah, 2006, man. That's a
Warp
long
drive
time.
active.
It's hard to keep an old game alive. But MMOs have this unique ability to stay alive for extremely long periods of time. So that's why I have hope for Eve Echoes. I do think that NetEase originally picked up the Eve Echoes IP to treat it kind of like some of their other games, where they keep it alive for maybe a
Warp
year or
drive
two and then
active.
shut it down. Um, but that just hasn't happened. I think they've seen a potential with Eve Echoes, and that's why they haven't taken that action, and they continue to go with it. I wish I knew for sure, since I'm not a CC for Eve Echoes. Although I'm pretty close to actually meeting their requirements.
Warp drive active.
Ooh. A clear sky nanocore on here. That's nice looking.
Warp drive active.
Yeah. Those poor Reyes got ganked all the time. I'm glad they've finally, like, kind of fixed the
Destination
whole
reached.
ganking problem in high set for Eve.
Autopilot engaged.
They've really spread people all over the place. I tell you what, if we had not gotten that rare drop, this would have been a really bad income. Right now we're about 3 hours in, and we've only had 2 Inquisitor anomalies at level 10. And made about 443 million. Yeah, had some fun with the grab 3s. I made money. I was... The blueprint for the integrated auto salvager was
active.
13 billion. Which I then actually built. Which makes this module worth, what, 26? 23? 32. So, yeah, I actually made money there. I've only ran 6. Those were the first 6 I ever did. I don't think it was Jitter that ran the extra portion of the site. It was Snoopy.
Warp drive active.
Snoopy's not here today, unfortunately, but yeah. Snoopy ran the sites that I couldn't go in. He did good. Snoopy got an additional... I think I want to say it was like an additional 1 billion ISK from the 3 different sites. 2 different sites, was it? I know I had a few of them. There was a couple of B-types in there. Yeah, I was thinking about doing a video on running just like a bunch of them in a row. But I had seen that Sheev Palpatine had actually done that. So the only ones that people can come into are the cruiser and battleship ones, which are the medium and large ones. If it says small, then you're fine in a frigate. Because it can only be run in a frigate. There are elites in there, from what I've heard, and they are very fast elites. So that's why I didn't want to risk the Astero.
Warp drive active.
It's PI day, you need this. Nice.
Warp drive active.
The in-game name is Orion underscore Ikea. It's up there in the top left. Capital I
Warp drive active.
in the second name. Alright, that's what we need. That's what we want. Finally, another Inquisitor. Whew, that is one Inquisitor per hour. That is rough, rough. But at least we've got another one here.
Warp drive active.
After stream, I'll be going to bed. I've gotta work tomorrow. Thank you for the offer, though.
Warp drive active.
Welcome back, Jenner. How did your gym day go? Nice. Well, I wish you luck with your with getting your business off the ground. I would be very lucky if one day I could get this channel to fund everything for me, but it'll never happen, so I'm not going toward it that fast anyway. I'm just here to show off what I'm doing, enjoy high sec,
Warp drive active.
be able to help players where I can. That's the best thing for me.
We're being warp scrambled.
Nice, 22,000 pounds of volume. That
We're
is
being
good
warp
stuff.
scrambled. We're being warp scrambled.
See, there was one elite in there, and I got 5 points.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
Yes, the auto salvager loots the cans for me, but only the integrated one can actually loot the boxes, and not encrypted common loot crates. Yeah, it's the only reason why they're so expensive, is because they can gather all the loot boxes. You can also do that with the integrated auto-salvaging drone. So these two over here can also gather boxes. And they have a little bit further further range. The sleeper sites aren't hard, they're just fast ships with a little bit of DPS. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people will be looking for PvP right now.
Enemy ships detected.
Alright, let's go ahead and nuke this
We're
wave.
under attack.
I hope one day we can find a system where those faction labs will spawn pretty reliably right there. That would be very nice. Alright, time to gather the loot. I don't think we got anything of real value here, but we'll check in a minute after we've gathered everything.
Autopilot engaged.
Alright. Yep, we got pretty much nothing. That's the only thing we actually got here. Yeah, same with your Lucent Moon, Jenner.
Warp drive
Oh,
active.
thank you for the subscription, Garp. I really appreciate it. Yep, your Lucent Moon is included in that. Wow, that was actually like a really bad drop from that. That's the only thing we really got. Everything else was just, these data cores. We got a couple of more Junior Overseers effects, but you can't sell those on the market yet.
Warp drive active.
I wonder how he died.
Warp drive active.
Let's see. Wonder if I should stop by Gina first. Gina's 5 jumps away. Yeah, let's just go to Gina.
Autopilot engaged. Autopilot engaged.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we only got like 1.5 million ISK from that last
Warp drive
Inquisitor.
active.
That is rough. To spend an hour looking for it and only get like 1.5 million, not including the bounty tick. The bounty tick should be fine. It should be somewhere around like 25 million. But those loot drop tables need some adjustment.
Warp drive active.
Alright, let's see what we're at now. So we started that. Okay, so we got 24 points for running that Inquisitor.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Alright, well, we'll be getting to... I hope they'll have nanocores based on some of the named ships. Raven, Anaconda, Chimera, whatever. Whatever mythical creature a Lucent Moon is. The mythical creature is the good Chinese restaurant. That's what mythical creature it is. I don't know. We'll have to see a lot about, like, what they do with this game, because every single time they have an update,
Warp drive
it's
active.
always a surprise. We never know what they're actually gonna do, or what their plan is. Because I was sure we were gonna get a new ship for this anniversary, but that's probably because the Young ships came like 2 weeks ago and was supposed to be part of this update, I bet. Yeah, if you go to the local or whatever, and you hit these 3 bars, you can go to Inform, and you can link any station or whatever in there. Yeah, instead of getting a new ship, we got new bugs. That's funny.
Warp drive active.
Sadly true.
Destined docking request accepted.
Alright. Got some skill points. What do we have to get to? Level 30? We have 19 days. How many points have I done so far? 900? Yeah, 900 out of 1500. I don't even know why I have that one. Alright, let's see how Concord Pass is going. We get a reset in 6 days. Okay. So I'm just gonna have to launch that anyway. It's gonna lag the game pretty good. Oh, I love it. Alright, let's get that one module sold. That would be the Scrambler. Alright. Well, good luck checking out those other factions, see how that goes. Just remember, every time you change your faction, your main level will go down by 1. So try not to change too often. With that being said, thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you got an idea of what you could get, from these Inquisitors and how it affects your faction warfare stuff. Because you can get levels from that. But that's it for me today. I can only thank you guys so much and so often for supporting me and helping me out. I can't thank you enough. I really can't. Um, it's been awesome, and it still will be awesome every single time. Hopefully we can do maybe some Dormant Realm for the alphas in the near future, probably in the next day or two. And then maybe after that we'll check out the faction stuff on the alphas. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you on the next one. Take care, and be safe.